So that's what the ayah is talking about. يَوْمَ يُكْشَفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ وَيُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ. And these people will be called to make sujood. Now what is this talking about, people being called to make sujood? So Imam Qurtubi rahimahullah, he has a narration from Ibn Mas'ud when he says, مَنْ كَانَ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصًا يَخِرُّ سَاجِدًا لَهُ وَيَبْقَى الْمُنَافِقُونَ لَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ كَأَنَّ فِي ظُهُورِهِمْ السَّفَافِيدِ. He says that the people who used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with purity of intention, they used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with purity of intention, they will fall down. They will immediately fall down before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when they're resurrected and they're brought before Allah, they will fall down and sujood before Allah. And the munafiqun, the hypocrites on that day, will remain standing and they won't be able to go down and sujood. And Ibn Mas'ud gives the example, كَأَنَّ فِي ظُهُورِهِمْ سَفَافِيدٍ. It's almost like in their backs, there is like metal or iron rods have been stuffed into their backs, not allowing their backs to bend over and then make sujood. So, I mean, it's the scene that one has to understand and imagine. Saffan Saffa, that basically all of humanity is gathered together, lined up before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presents himself before humanity, or they're presented before Allah rather, then in that situation, all of humanity, especially those people, particularly those people who used to bow down before Allah in the life of this world, and they did this willingly in the life of this world, they will fall down and sujood before Allah, showing their humility before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يَبْقَى مَنْ كَانَ يَسْجُدُ رِيَاءً. But as for the person who used to bow down before Allah just to show off to people, this is addressing the munafiqun. إِلَّا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ ظَهْرَهُ طَبَقَةً وَاحِدًا. Allah will basically freeze his back. The back of that person will become like one solid bone, like it won't be able to bend. And so this is what this is referring to, that يُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ فَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ. But they won't be able to bow down before Allah. They won't be able to make sujood before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now here comes another question. Mufassirun, they pose another question here. They say that these people didn't believe in the life of the world. In the life of this world, they didn't believe. They didn't accept. Now it's the akhirah. Alright, now it's the end game. Everything's over. That's fine. Their choice has been made. Wouldn't it at least make sense to make them humble themselves before Allah now? I mean, at least now? That would still be a form of humiliation for them. Why doesn't Allah make them bow down and sujood before Him? Well, the scholars explain something very beautiful. They say sujood is the most beloved position to Allah. There's a hadith that actually tells us that when a Muslim makes sujood, his head is in the feet of Ar-Rahman. Sujood is a way to get the mercy of Allah, to get the favor of Allah, to seek the blessings of Allah. Dua in the sujood, that's why it's mustajab. So sujood is a blessing. It gives you a sense of comfort. It reassures you. It's a way out of difficulty. These people will not be even given that little bit of glimmer of hope. Because if they would be allowed to fall down in sujood, there might be some glimmer of hope that they might feel. Okay, maybe Allah's not so angry with us. Maybe now we'll be able to win the favor of Allah by making sujood. Allah will not even allow this glimmer of hope. Not only that, but if they were to make sujood, they'd look to the right and left and see the other people in sujood and see those are mu'minun and mu'minat. It might inspire some hope within them. Hey, I'm in some pretty elite company here. Allah will not allow them that. They'll be forced to realize who they are, who they stand with. Because imagine all the mu'minun, mu'minat are all in sujood. The only people standing are kuffar and mushrikeen and munafiqeen. And you're standing there unable to go in sujood, and then you look around and you see the likes of Abu Jahl and Fir'aun standing next to you, and you realize exactly what boat you're in. So this is why Allah will not allow them the honor, the dignity of performing sujood. خَاشِعَةً أَبْصَارُهُمْ تَرْهَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةً تَرْهَقُ رَهِقًا. This word in the Arabic language, it basically means when one thing completely overshadows another thing, forcefully if need be. When one thing completely overshadows, covers up, overtakes another thing forcefully if need be. تَرْهَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةً. Dhillah in the Arabic language means a feeling of helplessness. In classical Arabic, it means a feeling of helplessness. So this feeling of helplessness will completely overcome them because of what I just described. They can't make sujood. There's not a glimmer of hope that maybe I'll get the favor of Allah. They look around and they see who they're standing in company with, and just that feeling of helplessness will completely overtake them. تَرْحَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةٌ. That in and of itself is a major part of their punishment. That sinking feeling, that realization of who I am and where I ended up. Where I'm headed. تَرْحَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةٌ وَقَدْ كَانُوا يُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ وَهُمْ سَالِمُونَ. Subhanallah. They consistently used to be called to sujood. إِلَى السُّجُود. وَقَدْ كَانُوا يُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُود. They consistently, most definitely, these people were consistently called to do sujood. وَهُمْ سَالِمُونَ. In the state, in the condition that these people were completely okay. Salimun, salama, means peace and safety. These people were completely okay. They had a peaceful situation. Everything was okay with them. They had every facility. There was nothing threatening them. Right now, yes, their situation is bad. But it's only this bad because when their situation was extremely well. They had nothing threatening them. They had nothing scaring them. They had no adversity, no difficulty. Everything was fine and dandy. And they were constantly, not once, not twice, but over and over and over again, called to make sujood before Allah. And what did they do? They refused it. So these people and their plight today is of their own choosing. It's their own choice.